So in this video, we are going to be pulling off the stock tires that came on my Mach 1. Now, my Mach 1 does not have the handling package, so these guys right here are the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. Great tires, and they're great for the track, and they're great for the street. And they were fine if you left traction control on. But what I noticed is when you turn traction control off with the twin turbo setup that we just installed, they just would not hold up in second gear. We're gonna take this car, we're gonna do a lot of roll racing, and we need a tire that's gonna hook up no matter what when we turn the boost up as well. So we're gonna pull these off, we're gonna weigh them so you get an idea for like, hey, how much does a drag pack save you on a Mach 1 or a newer Mustang? And we'll weigh them, both sets of wheels, tires, front and back, and see the total weight savings at both ends plus the total. And then we'll take it out on the street after we install everything. We'll talk a little bit about installation, a couple little issues to watch out for. And yeah, we'll take it on the street. We'll do some hits, second gear, you know, going through the gears, second, third, fourth. And then we may even do some hits from a dig, or at least we'll roll into it in first gear and see how it hooks up in first to really test these things on the street. So let's go check it out. So step one, break out your tools, and you're gonna pull off the stock wheels and tires. Now, just so you know, the torque setting on these stockers is around, I think, 150 foot-pounds. It's pretty high. So it's not a bad idea, especially in the fronts, to do that while it's still on the ground, unless you have a good impact. Otherwise, you know, you're okay. But if you're trying to break these loose in the front with the breaker bar and you get the car jacked up off the ground and the front wheel can free spin, it's gonna be kind of difficult. We'll talk about torque specs at the end, but Weld does recommend different torque specs for their wheels. So we'll just keep that in mind when we get to that point. So before is the non-handling package, after is with the Weld wheels. This is each, and that is total. So your huge weight savings is off the front, right? Because the fronts are almost 60 pounds each, whereas the skinnies up front, the Welds, they're not quite half, but you know, quite a bit. In the rear, it's a savings, but not as much. It's about 10 pounds each. You're looking at 62 and a half versus 52 each. When you add all that up, 65.6 pounds came off the car. So pretty awesome. Chances are most, if not all of that weight is eaten back up by installing the turbochargers, but 65.6 pounds in rotating mass is nothing to scoff at. We'll grab the tape measure, go ahead and measure these wheels so you can get an idea of the difference of a 305 45 17 versus, I think this is a 275 40 19, something like that. We'll measure them. It's kind of like, I think there'll be more of a usable patch than on these because these have more of a bulging sidewall. We can see where the tires touch, and it's about 9 1/4. Here's closer to 10 1/2. So I think that'll be a big bit of difference. We'll go ahead and throw these on. Well, we ran into our first issue. Looks like when they put the wheel weights on this wheel, they put a ton of them down there on the inner lip. Basically, what that means is it's hitting the brakes. When they did this one, though, no issue. Take that to the tire shop and get that one rebalanced with weights that are moved so it doesn't hit. I did go ahead and buy a different set of lug nuts for my other wheels. So I'll have my stockers to stay with the stock wheels, and I'm gonna use these for the other ones. They're black, which I like, and they also take a splined drive. So it just makes it a little more difficult if somebody's trying to, you know, take your wheels. They can't just go on there with a normal socket. They need that kind of key. These are a 14 millimeter by 1.5, I believe. And I've used these before with other cars. They work out good. You can get them for like 40 bucks on Amazon or LMR, different sites, and have it to your house in a couple days. Now that we've got everything mounted, I'm over the moon at how they look. This car looks sick, especially with the rear tires are about, I think, 28.1 inches tall, so about half inch or so taller than the stock tires. The fronts are a 26, so they're a little bit shorter than a front tire. So you get a little bit of that kind of raked nose front. I think it just looks super cool. So on the looks factor, these things are totally awesome. So let's talk performance. We're gonna take it out on the street, and basically we're gonna do a couple hits in second gear to see how it hooks up in second gear and let you guys take a look at that. Let me know what you think. Yeah, second gear, this thing dead hooks. All you're hearing, there's no wheel spin inside the car, no funny business. You don't notice anything weird driving with the skinnies up front either. I was worried about that, but it's totally fine. And yeah, it dead hooks in second, no problem. I think the turbos do help the fact that the power comes on a little bit later and kind of ramps in, but no issues. I mean, all you hear is that chirp as you're going through the gears. That is it. But so what we'll do is I'll launch it from first gear. I just kind of let the clutch out, roll out into it, and then, you know, foot to the floor in first, let it build some boost, and you'll see what it does. So obviously I am not, you know, light shifting this thing. I'm banging gears in it and it loves it. This thing is just so much fun. I love the blow off valve in between the shifts. It just makes me laugh every time. And when you are in this car, you know, if you've never been in a turbocharged Coyote, basically the further you wind it out, the stronger it feels. It just sucks you back in the seat and just keeps holding you back there. I might have to do like a half-mile race or something where I can really stretch its legs because it just wants to go. But I cannot say enough good things about these wheels and tires. They're great. They look great. They're super light. We saved 66 pounds, you know, overall, and a ton of weight off the nose, which is awesome, and just fantastic. They hook up. I cannot say enough good things about these wheels and tires. Just in case you're curious, I'm running 20 to 22 pounds in the rear and about 32 in the front, and that seems perfect. So, hey, I hope you guys like this video. Next time you see this car, we should be out racing. So there's an event coming up beginning of September, and we'll put some good fuel in the tank for that. We'll do a couple runs on the low boost setting, and then we'll turn it up. And hopefully we get some good competitive cars out there. I know my car feels fast to me, but it's not fast in the grand scheme of things. There's people out there with, you know, well into the 1,000 horsepower range. So can't wait for that. Early September it's coming, I promise you. Watch some other videos if you haven't seen them. See some more history on the car, and then hopefully that will hold you over until we get this thing out on the track and get it racing. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.